Hey there everyone, Jesse here again, and today we have a very special unboxing of the new DualSense controller for the PlayStation 5. This just came in. I ordered my copy on the PlayStation Direct store, so it just came in today. It comes out at retailers on the 30th, so this Friday. I got mine early, so very fortunate about that, but let's go ahead and get to the unboxing. So here we have the front of the box, just says that PlayStation, got some logos here. And then on the side, it tells us the contents. Not all that important, so not really going to focus in on that, but basically it just tells us that it has the controller as well as the instruction manual. And on the back here is where we get some product information, information about the haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, the built-in microphone, which is honestly great. Been playing some Ghost of Tsushima and being able to talk to people even if they don't necessarily have like a microphone themselves because it's built in the controller. It's a fantastic feature to have. Then signature comfort, so we will see how comfy it is after we actually open it. And then it says compatible hardware here is PlayStation 5. Again, not going to focus in on that. In terms of other compatible hardware, most likely it's going to be available or or usable on other platforms. You might have to buy a dongle or two, but if you're trying to use it on your PC, you might be able to connect it with Bluetooth. But I'll probably get to that in a future video, showing what all you can use it on without having to buy those extra accessories, aside from like a USB-C to, I think it was a USB-A cable. Now on the bottom of it, we have the product barcode, PlayStation.com, and some other information. And then that's really all that important. So we're just gonna open up this bad boy. At the top here, we can see like a little PlayStation sticker holding it all together, as well as the standard sticker in the middle. So we would just cut through all of that. It's here today, and try not to cut myself. So let's see here. Can we get that open? Sorry, having a little bit of trouble getting this open. There we go. And then get the next half. There we go. So got it open now. And then take off that tab. Although I do like the tab. I do like the fact that the tab is there. It makes it easy to hang if you really want to. And we will go ahead and just take this out of the box. It's sitting pretty snugly in there. And then here we have another white box we have to open up. So let's see. There we go. So its packaging is actually pretty simple. The instruction manual should be, here we go. Here's our instruction manual. Don't really need that. Don't need that anymore. And then the coup de grace, the DualSense itself. Alright, so we will take that out of the box. And here it is in all of its glory. So let's go ahead and actually zoom in on that a little bit. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the controller there. And here we have it. So we have the PlayStation button in the middle, speaker there. Don't know what that light is for. It's an actual button. Maybe, oh, here we go, yeah. So that button is to mute the microphone. Can't really see it here in the shot, but there's a little microphone mute icon there. And then there's the microphone here at the bottom. Again, you can't really see that due to the lighting here. But then we have a headphone jack in the bottom, as well as some connector ports there for additional accessories. We have the D-pad, buttons, and then the options, as well as the create button. Different from the share button, they haven't really gone into detail about what the create button necessarily does in terms of what makes it different than the share button on the DualShock 4. We saw in the UI video that pressing the create button allows you to share screenshots, videos, and things of that nature. So it seems like the functionality at its core is still pretty similar. But yeah, so here we have the touchpad, and oh, that's really smooth. Interesting. And then on the sides here, you have the spots for the light bar. So on the front of the DualShock 4, or the original model that was, is where you had the light bar spot. And then in the second generation DualShock 4, they moved it so that the light would shine more on the around the sides of the touchpad. Sorry, not on the sides, on the top of the touchpad, so you can kind of see it a lot easier for gameplay purposes. But I'll show that off here in a few minutes because I do have my other DualShock 4 here with me. If we press the PlayStation button, we can see that little glow telling us it's looking for the PlayStation console or whatever else you might have synced it up to. Of course, it's not going to do anything right now because we don't have it synced up to anything yet. But first things first, I still don't like the fact that this is the PlayStation button is like a little insignia of the PlayStation symbol. I preferred it actually being a button. This feels weird to touch, I guess, but that's just a little nitpick from me. Otherwise, the controller feels great. It has a much bulkier build than the current DualShock 4. I thought that this would, I thought with the way that this thing's built, it would feel kind of weird in the hands. But yeah, I enjoy it. The new triggers, they feel alright. I mean, I don't have any problems with them. They don't feel much different than the ones we have on the current controller. But yeah, I don't mind it at all. Yeah, and then we have the USB-C port here. Thank God for that. And then we have the new triggers: L trigger, R trigger, and then our bumpers: R1, R2, L1, L2, or sorry, L2, R2. And then we have, again, legalese at the bottom there. I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, this camera's not going to really be able to zoom in, but if we were to zoom in, we could see like the textured finish on the handles here. And that textured finish actually shows off. It's actually like miniaturized symbols of the face buttons you'd find here on the front of the controllers. That's actually pretty nice. I like that. It's a nice little detail. The sticks feel good. Yeah, I really like them. They're really quiet too. Huh, that's interesting. Okay. So now I'm going to actually bring out my, here we go, my second generation DualShock 4. And so here's that. That is really interesting. Okay, so there is a little bit of a different feel to the triggers. Like this one, again, this controller is very quiet. Like, yeah, it is pretty quiet. But the DualShock 4, it's kind of weird. Like the triggers, they have a little bit, it's not that they have more resistance, but I don't know. You can feel yourself pushing the trigger more on the DualShock 4, if that makes any sense. Whereas this one, it's more of a satisfying kind of empty pull. And I guess I would kind of assume that that's there for when you're playing a PS5 game and that game takes advantage of the triggers. So you might be using a bow in the game, and when you're using the bow, it has there's a little bit of resistance to it or something along those lines. But yeah, I cannot wait to see how developers actually utilize these features. And actually, let's see if we can focus just a little bit more. There we go. And then we have the D-pad. I guess I kind of like the D-pad on the DualShock 4 a little bit more. Does feel a little bit more clicky. Again, the PS Vita D-pad is still the best. And then the face buttons. I guess DualShock 4 again. I guess the difference between the DualShock 4, the second generation DualShock 4, and the DualSense, face buttons, D-pad, and the triggers, is that everything on the DualSense kind of feels a little bit mushy. Well, I guess this one's more clicky. The R1 and L1 buttons are more clicky on the DualSense controller, but everything else is kind of a bit more mushy. And for the sticks, I don't mind that. For the triggers, I don't mind that either. For the face buttons and the D-pad, it might take a little bit getting used to, but that's just my personal opinion. Touchpad. yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that. They feel the same. Oh, yeah, so the create button and the options button are a little more clicky than they are on the DualShock 4, so that's nice. And then also going to compare it to another controller I have here with me is the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. Oh, you cannot see that. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. There we go. So the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. So there you can see the 3 controllers there. Let's go ahead and put this one in the middle just for presentation purposes. So yeah, again, just a nice little short unboxing. I'll have a proper video up later on, kind of going over what you can use the DualSense with right now, because I've seen Austin Evans' video and it looks like he connected the DualSense to the PS4 via Bluetooth connection. And while the PS4 recognized the controller, recognized it as a PlayStation controller, he couldn't actually use it with the system. So that might require some type of firmware update to the console or maybe even the controller itself, because you are able to update the controller itself with the new DualSense. So that'll be interesting seeing how Sony, what Sony does with that in the future. But yeah, in a future video I'll go over what you can use the DualSense with while you're waiting on your PS4 or PS5 to get here. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer whatever questions everyone might have. Otherwise, I hope everyone out there stays safe. I know that things are kind of difficult right now with COVID, and anyway, hope hope everyone is staying safe, and hope everyone, if you're going outside, maintain your social distancing practices, and please wear a mask. Otherwise, thank you again for watching. Again, leave any comments you have in the comment section below, and I'll try and answer them. Looking forward to seeing everyone in the next one.